Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Jumai Manson. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365, Star Times channel 276 and Free TV. Now the news in full. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has signed the Presidential Executive Order on Virtual Asset Coordination 2026, introducing a very unified framework to regulate Nigeria's fast-growing digital asset sector. The order, which takes immediate effect, seeks to tighten oversight, curb fraud, combat money laundering, terrorism financing, protect investors, and promote responsible innovation without creating a new regulator. The executive order establishes a virtual asset council chaired by the Central Bank of Nigeria, with the Nigeria Revenue Service and the Securities and Exchange Commission serving as vice chairman. The council will coordinate policy, harmonize regulation among key agencies, close existing regulatory loopholes, and ensure stronger protection against fraudulent operators exploiting Nigeria's digital economy. The order also creates a virtual asset office at the CBN to coordinate information sharing and supervision across the agencies. The Nigerian Police Force has intensified the battle against illegal firearms to curb the proliferation of illicit weapons ahead of future elections. The Inspector General of Police, Olatunji Disu, made this known while receiving the Director General of the National Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons, retired DIG Johnson Kukomo, and his management team at the force headquarters in Abuja. Kikelomo Okere has the details.
The Inspector General of Police, Olatunji Disu, says the Nigerian Police Force will scale up intelligence-driven operations to identify, intercept, and recover illegal firearms across the country. He says the move is aimed at dismantling arms trafficking networks, recovering illegal weapons, and strengthening national security. He therefore called for stronger collaboration among security agencies to block the movement of illicit weapons before they reach criminal groups, stressing that intelligence sharing remains critical to winning the fight against arms trafficking.
Intelligence shared is ever worth it. And everywhere in the world, intelligence sharing is going to real-time intelligence sharing. Real-time intelligence sharing.
The police chief also announced plans for a joint nationwide campaign to encourage the voluntary surrender of illegal weapons. He identified porous borders, waterways, and illegal local manufacturers as major channels fueling the influx of illicit firearms and directed stricter armory management, regular audits, and stronger accountability measures to prevent the diversion of government-owned weapons.
Borders, we operate this kind of border system that most part of our borders are not manned. Our borders are so porous, and these people, they have made up their mind to traffic the arms, so they will do anything possible to ensure the arms come into the country and get into the hands of those who want to use it to commit crimes.
Earlier, the Director General of the National Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons, retired DIG John Kukomo, called for greater collaboration among security agencies, government institutions, development partners, and local communities, saying a coordinated national approach is essential to tackling the spread of illegal arms.
We also see collaboration in the area of training. We want to see areas of police training initiated by the Nigerian police, from which members of the center can gain. And the center too, as I've said before now, in collaboration with our international partners, will keep on putting in place training programs for which the Nigerian police can equally benefit.
With political activities expected to gather momentum in the coming months, the renewed offensive against illegal firearms is aimed at preventing weapons from falling into hands of criminals, reducing election-related violence, and strengthening public safety across the country. Kike Lomo Okere, Global TV News.
The House of Representatives Committee on Finance has directed the Nigerian Customs Service and the National Sugar Development Council to strengthen transparency and accountability in the collection and remittance of sugar import levies. The directive came during an oversight meeting chaired by the Deputy Chairman of the committee, Saidu Abdullahi, at the National Assembly. National Assembly correspondent Anita Patrick tells us more. We apologize that report will be brought in a subsequent bulletin. In the same vein, the Independent National Electoral Commission has commenced early procurement of materials, withdrawing of security plans, and review of processes to ensure that the glitch that occurred during the transmission of the results to the IRIV portal in 2023 does not recur. INEC Chairman Professor Josh Amupiton stated this while receiving the United Kingdom High Commissioner to Nigeria, Richard Montgomery. Amupiton said INEC would leverage the NIMSI database to clean up its voter register after the general election. Moving on, the federal government has filed a 10-count charge against 3 men over the kidnap of pupils and teachers from the school in Owerri local government area of Oyo State. The defendants, Abdul Razak Umar, Yunusa Musa, and Shamsu Adamu Sani, are accused of terrorism, kidnapping, concealment, incitement, and illegal mining. The charges were filed before the Federal High Court in Abuja. Umar is also known as Abu Khalifa or Abu Khalid, Musa as Yunusa bin Musa, and Sani as Abu Isra. All 3 are from Suleja local government area of Niger State. Benue State Governor Hyacinth Alia has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to protecting lives and securing farmlands across the state, declaring that his government will not relent until terrorists are driven out of Benue. The governor stated this during an unscheduled inspection visit to the Tariku Mills in Gwera East local government area, where he assessed ongoing rehabilitation work at the site-owned agro-processing company. Alia said restoring security remains central to his administration's economic agenda, stressing that farmers must be able to cultivate their land without fear if the state is to realize its agricultural potential. Over now, the Sokoto State Government has flagged off the 3rd phase of its Safe Delivery Initiative, inaugurating 75 upgraded primary healthcare centers across the state. 23 local government areas part of effort to reduce maternal and infant mortality. Speaking during the inauguration, the Commissioner for Health, Dr. Farouk Abubakar, described the initiative as a major step towards ensuring that every pregnant woman in Sokoto has access to quality maternal health care close to her community. With the latest rollout, the number of PHCs that now meets the national standards for safe delivery services has increased to 92, while the state targets all 244 designation facilities to become fully compliant by the end of December 2026. You are watching the live broadcast of News Cycle. News Cycle continues after this weather forecast, plus business, foreign, and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Welcome to the weather forecast. It's been particularly wet and stormy across the country over the past few days. Saturday brings slight reduction in both intensity and coverage of the weather activities across the country. And so for the morning hours, residents in parts of Enugu, Anambra, Edo, Delta, Ondo, and Lagos states are expected to experience light to moderate intermittent rains. Meanwhile, parts of Niger, Kogi, the Federal Capital Territory, Kaduna, Adamawa, and Taraba states should see some rumbles of thunder accompanied with light to moderate rains. By afternoon and evening hours, isolated thunderstorms are expected in the north and north-central region, with moderate rains to the southern parts of the country. Stay with us for the temperature forecast coming up next. I am Theodora Itzum. Have a beautiful weekend.
You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is News Cycle on Global Television. Thank you for staying with us. In business now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has unveiled plans to transform Nigeria's cocoa sector through local processing, industrialization, and value addition as part of efforts to diversify the economy, create jobs, and boost non-oil export earnings. Represented by the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, the President announced the initiative at the 2026 Cocoa Value Addition Summit in Abuja. The President said the federal government is shifting from exporting raw cocoa beans to processing them locally in order to increase foreign exchange earnings, attract investments, and improve farmers' incomes. He disclosed that Nigeria now has an annual cocoa grinding capacity of over 120,000 tons, while a 70,000-ton processing facility is under construction in Shagamu. Tinubu also highlighted the rollout of 1 million improved cocoa seedlings to farming communities to increase production and climate resilience. The federal government has flagged off the nationwide distribution of more than 10 million bags of fertilizer and unveiled a guaranteed minimum price scheme of 2 million smallholders farmers under the Renewed Hope Smallholder Support and Value Chain Fund. Speaking at the launch in Zaria, Kaduna State, Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, said the initiative is designed to improve access to farm inputs while generating markets for farmers' produce. Kyari explained that beneficiaries will be linked to farmer aggregation companies, which will provide certified seeds, fertilizer extension service, and take-home arrangement. He said the new model ensures farmers receive timely inputs during the planting season and are protected from exploitative market prices through a government-approved guaranteed minimum price at harvest. Also speaking, the managing director of the Bank of Agriculture, Ayodele Soterin, said the program aims to boost productivity and strengthen agricultural value chains nationwide. He disclosed that nearly 300,000 farmers have already been enrolled, with over 1.1 million bags of fertilizer and 16,470 metric tons of improved seeds being deployed across more than 20 states through 20 farmer aggregation companies. Women and elders of Amabo Unguru in Ungo Okpala local government area of Imo State have taken to the streets in protest over alleged illegal land mining in their community. They accuse operators of destroying farmlands, degrading the environment, and worsening insecurity, while calling on the government to stop the activities. Amarachi Ibe tells us more.
Carrying placards and singing solidarity songs, the protesters marched through the affected mining site, demanding an immediate end to the alleged illegal borrow pit operations. They said years of excavation have devastated farmland, created deep gullies, and increased the risk of erosion, leaving many families without their primary source of livelihood. The protesters also alleged that abandoned mining pits have become hideout for criminal elements, posing a growing security threat to residents. One of the protesters, Adolfo Sanoro, said the community has lost vast areas of productive land and urged authorities to bring the mining activities to an end.
So the problem we have is this: all our palm trees is out because of the borrow pit. So that's why we are saying we don't need the borrow pit again. The palm tree here, very little, it kills somebody there. So by the help of God, makes the person to survive. So that's why we don't want the borrow pit here again.
Another resident, Oluchie Kohoro, described the situation as a major environmental and security concern, calling for urgent government interventions.
And the reason why that we gather here is today is because we don't want anything borrow pit in our land again. Borrow pit have caused environmental disaster to our people. Even as you can see, the bandits, they may enter here and we will not know. So that is why the women, the youth, and the men, we gathered here today to say no to borrow pit in our land again. This is why we gathered here today.
The protesters are urging the Imo State government and relevant regulatory agencies to halt the alleged illegal mining activities, rehabilitate the affected land, and protect life, livelihood, and the environment. Amarachi Ibe, Global TV News.
In a sad development on the foreign scene, a bus full of school children returning from a trip veered off the road in Uganda, killing 20 children and one adult. The East African country has a notorious road safety record, frequently recording bus or truck accidents along poorly maintained highways. The bus was King David Junior School in the capital, Kampala, was returning from a school trip to Sipi Falls in Kokwara district when it veered off the road, according to preliminary investigations by the police. Police said in a statement on X, the driver reportedly lost control of the vehicle, which veered off the road, struck a large stone along the roadside, and overturned. Peru's President-elect Keiko Fujimori has officially received her presidential credentials, completing the constitutional process that confirms her election victory and clears the way for her inauguration as the country's next president. The formal ceremony brought together electoral officials, party leaders, and invited dignitaries, marking a significant milestone in the Peru's democratic transition. Samuel Odi has the details.
The presentation of the credentials officially recognized Fujimori as the country's incoming head of state. In her address, Fujimori called for national reconciliation, urging Peruvians to move beyond years of political division and work together for the country's future. She said Peru could no longer afford prolonged conflict and polarization. The president-elect pledged to lead an inclusive administration focused on restoring trust in public institutions, strengthening democratic governance, and addressing the country's pressing economic and social challenges. Fujimori also promised to prioritize economic recovery, job creation, public security, and social stability, stressing that her government would work to improve the lives of all Peruvians regardless of political affiliations. Outside the ceremony, hundreds of supporters dressed in the party's signature orange colors gathered to celebrate the celebration, waving flags and chanting slogans. They cheered as Fujimori emerged to acknowledge the crowd in a display of strong political support. Fujimori's inauguration is expected to mark the beginning of a new political chapter for Peru, with both supporters and critics closely watching how her administration delivers on promises of unity, stability, and economic renewal amid high public expectation. Samuel Odi, Global TV News.
In exciting news in sports now, with just 6 days to the start of 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, the National Sports Commission has unveiled an enhanced welfare and incentive package for Team Nigeria, reaffirming the federal government's commitment to improving athlete welfare and rewarding sporting excellence. And the package, approved by NSC Chairman Shehu Diko and Director General Bukola Olakmade, provides improved travel support, increased camping allowances, competition incentives, and upgraded performance rewards. For the first time, every athlete and official received 250,000 naira each for flights to the national camp in Abuja, alongside another 250,000 naira to facilitate their return trips after the Games. Football's global governing body, FIFA, will assess match reports before deciding if they take any action over Argentina players holding up a banner reading Las Malvanas son Argentinas following their 2-1 victory over England. A British minister had uncalled for FIFA to look into the incident following the World Cup semi-final match in Atlanta. FIFA released a statement late saying they were assessing the match reports. And that's it on News Cycle. Here's a quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365, Star Times channel 276 and Free TV. Now kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen by using @GlobalTVNG. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching. Good evening.